Welcome back to Citizen Sleeper, the dystopian cyber noir future game text driven adventure thing where I narrate all the characters and take you through it from my point of view. This game does have multiple endings, and I don't know which one I'm going to get. When I played it on the Xbox last year, I just went with my heart on the decisions. Some things I won, some things I lost, and that was what I'll be doing today. So I really want to prioritise Dragos's yard here. So we've got the forensic trawl option where we can uncover things about the winter light. And that's something that I'd really like to kind of double down on. So let's start action there and we'll try and learn about the winter light ship. Cool, so I got a neutral outcome, which means that I built one up on the clock. What happens if I get a 2 in there? 50% neutral, 50% negative. I think I'm going to save those and use those for the data stuff. So let's go. Let's eat first of all. Got to get that food in, and I want to build up this fungus fan thing. I feel like something's good. I feel like something good's going to come of that. Okay, so I've got bunch of energy and I've built up my fungus fan thing. I'm tempted to just buy another one just to boost that now, but I'm gonna wait and do it when I need it, because resource management is kind of crucial in this game. What drive are we prioritizing here? We've got a few here. We've got build a ship mind, get to know Emphis. Emphis is the Scottish guy that runs the fungus stall. Study the winter light and survive. Let's just track survive for now. I think talking to Sabine is kind of part of the survive. Buy a vial of stabilizer. So we're in the habitation block. We're talking to Sabine the doctor. The first thing you see on entering is the glint of Toshiro's implants, like a cat's eyes in the dark of the corridor. He nods you in as you arrive at Sabine's door. The entryway is still dark and you push through the sheeting into the surgery. I have it. Sabine stands with a case open in front of them. A set of vials lined up inside, separated by foam inserts. They pick one up, rotating it in the warm light. I have no idea how yet again. They trail off. We should treat this with caution. It looks authentic, but I have no idea if it really is what it appears to be. So I can say I don't care, or I can say I'm the test case. I'm going to go with I'm the test case. That seems to be the case, says Sabine. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we have another choice. They gesture for you to sit on the bed. The stabilizer works under a similar principle to an immunosuppressant in a transplant operation, in that it stops your body from rejecting the unfamiliar part of itself. In the case of your frame, the unfamiliar part is each of your biosynthetic organ groups, which over time are identified by your body as foreign material and therefore must be eliminated. Sabine holds up a vial of the would-be stabilizer. However, unlike an immunosuppressant, the stabilizer doesn't do this by limiting your entire immune system. Instead, it re-encodes your biosynthetic organs with new protein chains, which act as passcodes within your immune system. The stabilizer refreshes these passcodes, keeping your frame from rejecting all of its own organs. I missaid those as these then. Passcodes? Question mark? Or which means? I'm going to say passcodes, question mark. In very basic terms, yes, they sigh. Look, what matters here is that the stabilizer should be able to encode any organic or biosynthetic matter to be accepted by your immune system. They glance away. At least, if the stabilizer is genuine, the only way to know for sure is to inject the vial. They begin readying the syringe. I will start with a small dose to limit the risk. So I've got here, I don't have a choice. How sure are you? Or, okay, let's do it. I'm going to go with how sure are you? Like, are you sure this is a good idea? Sabine says, I'm working with best guesses here, but the case, the vials, it looks authentic. Sabine cracks the glass neck of the stabilizer vial and uses a syringe to extract a fraction of the liquid. They tap the syringe and you watch as if any sign might emerge from the clear liquid. You barely feel the needle, your frame registering the initial injection, but with little response. A sensation begins to spread from the site, a fizzing, trembling wave that disperses through your arm with incredible speed. Your vision goes white, and when it returns, Sabine appears encased in shards of sparkling light that slowly fade into darkness as you settle back against the bed. You swim in darkness, muffled noises like an argument heard from underwater, prickling waves of cold. When you sit back up, Sabine is sitting in a chair by the window, facing away from you, backlit by the glow of their slate. Awake? I've got the option yes or what happened. I'm going to go with what happened. The stabilizer is genuine. They sit down beside the bed. I don't know how Yataghan acquired a case of this stuff, but they did. Sabine looks troubled, distracted. You should rest some more, but you're going to have to do that somewhere else. They gesture to the door. I have other patients. Sorry. Sabine nods towards the case. I'm afraid I can't offer you any more doses. You are going to need to pay for your next dose. Silence fills the room, and they return to their glowing slate. Looking around the room, it seems different somehow, as if things have moved or shifted. You wonder how long you've been out. I'm going to ask her. I can just leave, or I can say, Sabine. Nothing comes free, sleeper. Remember that. Apart from the medicine you just gave me, I guess. You manage to get to your feet and wander out into the hallway. The queue stretches down the flickering corridor. Toshiro stands impatiently by the door and fixes you with a glare as you leave. You lower your eyes as you stumble past, somehow faintly aware of the station spinning beneath you. Okay. So my condition is now stable, which is really cool. I've got a few things I can go look at. So let's just go up and down the station a bit here. So I've got Emphis' store, which is kind of dealt with. I've got the Auto Exchange. And I can sell components here. I don't have any components. I can play the exchange, but I don't have high dice, so I'm probably not going to do that just yet. And then I've got this ship coming in here, this ship coming in here. The Rotunda, again, these things I need high dice for, so I really want to focus on Dragus' yard, my empty container, and then this shipyard, which again I need high dice for. So let's take our low dice and flip to the kind of data thing. Now I've got an encrypted key, a stream of passcodes able to unlock the station's aging maglocks. Is that this? No. Maybe there's one the other side? Let's go up here, see if this one can be unlocked. Yataghan agent. Some gang enforcers' implants are chirping out comm signals. Time to see what they're talking about. Okay, let's pop this one in here. Then bypass. Extract data. Cool, so I've got some more data here. Yataghan data. A data cache skimmed from Yataghan hardware. Cool. The cloud. In the data ghost of the eye. So here I've done one of those little missions, one of those nodes, and now I've been called up by the cloud from the looks of things. As you drift back from the node, something latches onto you. A thread strung tight around you. It tethers you in place. A taste. The voice makes you shiver, its source somehow both distant and close behind your ear. You see a distant glint of light shut off, and then suddenly a shape is at your side. It stalks around you, circling like a shark, like a wolf. Entity unknown. Astringent. Processing. So I've got the option to resist or stay still. I'm going to stay still. Whoa, look at this thing. Oh my gosh, if you're just listening, it's a four-legged, a quadrupedal kind of slug beast with loads of tentacles spitting out of it. Its whole neck is a mouth, and then it's got a big kind of orb eye in the tentacles. They're very fine fronds, kind of like fibre optics. And behind it is a kind of a, what's this, like a compass or something? Sentient protocol unraveling. It says, please hold. The thread around you thickens until it is a ring A cylinder, a tunnel of light circled around you. It is blinding for a moment, then it is gone. As it fades, you see a figure, a creature in front of you. Its strange head flickers between different angles, reading you. I'm going to ask, what are you? The shape paces around you on lithe legs, though there is no ground here to pace on.
Entity, identify, origin, serial, cadence.
The figure faces you expectantly. I can say sleeper, S and ARP, I don't understand, or stay silent. I'm going to go with sleeper, S and ARP. I think this thing wants some identity info from me. It says,
unknown, known.
The figure's strange head rotates.
Brackish signature, of and not of, attempting interface.
As the figure speaks, more threads begin to spiral from its head, thick, snaking, vine-like ribbons that flex and wave. They approach with intent. So I can say stop, or I can just run. I'm going to say stop. The figure halts its threads, its head twitching.
Entity, your identity is unknown. We only seek to correct illegalities. Can you confirm your legal right to sentience?
Oh, this is a tough one. Okay. Can I confirm my legal right to sentience? I'm a person. I'm going to say I'm a person.
Incorrect. You are an entity.
All at once, Hunter's head is directly in front of yours, blocking your vision.
You stink of their taste, the one from the sealed dock.
Hunter shimmers with fury.
I will find access. I will interface.
I'm going to ask it, sealed dock? I've got the option to say I don't understand, but I do, so. It says,
an entity hides in the rotunda. You are its puppet.
Hunter extends a razor-edged thread.
I will not be diverted from my task.
It glows with murderous intent. Strike? Oh no. Uh-oh. Fight this thing. You lash out with all your force. Not a physical strike, but a focusing, a spike of interference leaping out at the tip of a spear. Hunter stumbles, shifts, separates. And then I can wake up. You open your eyes, blinking back into the station light, shaking with fear. Wow. Cool. I mean, that was really dramatic, obviously, but like quite exciting. I can't recall what I did with this last time. I think it's already diverging from the way I played it last year. So, right, key node. So I've got +1 on interface, meaning that I can use my 2 for this one. So I think I will. I quite like the idea of just working back across each day. So I've got 5 cryo. Can extract the data. And I got whatever this data is. Yatagan data and encrypted key. I don't know what you do with the encrypted keys, but I'm sure it will become apparent. Alright, so I feel like we're in a good position here. Have an Arch agent. No, this is a dice one. I don't know what to spend the encrypted keys on. No, that's dice. Okay, so this is a Solheim cipher. I don't have that. I don't have that data. Or that one. Or that one. Okay, so I think, how do you open this up? And this is again some cipher thing. So we're kind of done with the internet sections there. I've got no more dice left. I've got a full tummy. And I'm fully stable. I think the last thing I want to check is just, can I buy more stabilizer? It takes 100 cryo. So if I go to bed and then I go back to work for Drago, try and get some money. I mean this one here. Dragos, sorry, not Drago. Yeah, let's do that. Right, end cycle. Alright, so I've got some high rollers here. Big money. That's great. So let's go straight to Dragos's yard. We've got Feng here who wants to talk to us about stuff, but let's... I really, really want to get this stuff with the winter sun. So this is going to kind of succeed regardless. But I want the winter light, even though I need money. So let's just chuck a load into this. Cool. Oh, I've got a scrap item. So a ship mine fragment could be reassembled with the right tools and a few more fragments. That's great. Let's keep on with this one. So getting ship mine fragments is pretty cool. I'm actually going to change what I'm tracking. So I'm going to track to study the winter light, because that's what I'm doing at the moment. Keep doing that. We don't get money for this, but neutral outcome. Oh, all right. Let's try this one and see if we can get the last, fill the last bit of the timer here. Learn about the winter light. Yes. All right. So forensic trawl. You discover a hidden compartment with spare components and backup data storage. This has to contain something of use. So we've completed that. Let's continue. Scrapyard. Decaying salvage. Squeezed into the office at the entrance to the yard, you lay out everything you have on the winter light across the metal desk. Your makeshift forensic notes glow on Dragos's old writing slate, overlapping lines and scrawled annotations. A set of drone scans fill the small terminal with a spectrum of colours, a heat map of damage and decay. A crumpled printout from the office's ship registry lies beside them, synthetic paper so thin it's almost transparent. I think I can look at the monitor, look at the slate, or look at the printout. I'm going to look at the printout, I think. A plain list shows the registration history of the winter light, the gaps between the entries tantalisingly opaque. Its first registration was a couple of thousand cycles ago on this very station, logged at the central hub. From here, the registry tells the story of a busy ship, one that rarely stayed on station for more than a few cycles, and often took on voyages that kept it away from the eye for up to 100 cycles. The winter light got little rest. Okay, we're going to look at the slate now. Your attempts at a reconstruction of the winter light before its fatal accident consists of a series of overlapping sketches and diagrams showing possible layouts and configurations of the gutted cutter. This was no off-the-shelf model. It was heavily modified, parts replaced with inventive configurations, the new retrofitted into the old, handmade joints and reconditioned filters. This was someone's pride and joy, a lifetime project kept running with care and intuition. It also contained a set of hidden compartments. You missed them at first, where the hull had been thickened, the corners rounded to disguise the change, but they are there. Look at the monitor. Reactor failure. That is the verdict that anyone would have returned after a cursory glance at these stacked heat maps of the remains of the winter light. On the terminal screen, the ship is shown in section, blotches of colour marking the approximate damage the ship sustained. Dominating the view is a single blood-red rose radiating from the ship's fraction drive. A simple story, a catastrophic failure of a drive core, leading to a fatal hull breach. A well-documented failure, likely brought on by wear or misuse. But you aren't looking at the rose of the reactor. You're looking at a smaller, paler mark, one that might be easy to miss at first glance. It is thumbprint-sized and delicately placed over the control servos for the ship's main external airlock. It suggests a control-shaped explosion, one designed to punch through the hull and allow access to the airlock from the outside. You are looking at it because it is troubling you. An old ship, many cycles under its belt, carefully maintained. A reactor failure preceded by a carefully concealed external entry, a suite of hidden compartments tucked away. This was the winter light, and this was its story. But that's not the full story, because there's something else. It is little more than a list, a tiny chunk of data you were able to pull from the ship's systems. The main systems were fried, of course, but the winter light had a separate system, one tucked away in one of its hidden compartments, armoured, air-walled. This list, the only recoverable piece from the whole system, is a partial inventory. It details the contents of the hidden compartments. Some of it you recognise, some of it you don't. shipmind ROMs, shimmer, cryo chain codes. Then the final entry. Passenger, sleeper, in brackets. You stare at the list on the terminal and try not to think about what it was like arriving here. In the cold for so long, half frozen in the freight container. Had this sleeper been smarter, luckier? How had they convinced the Winterlight, a smuggler's ship if you ever saw one, to extract them from Essen Arp? Luckier, you laugh. There had been no remains found in any of the Winterlight's compartments. You had checked. They weren't so lucky, you guess. Not in the end. You hold up a vial of stabilizer to the light. This was all you find in their compartment, a parting gift from Essen Arp. Well, it won't go to waste now. You put it back in your pocket. The thought still bothers you, though. 2 ships carrying sleepers coming into the same yard. 2, one after the other. That feels wrong. You flick back and forth between datasets on the terminal, thinking, and you see that thumbprint again, the mark of someone trying to get in. Someone who entered the Winterlight with precision and speed, and when they were done, left the reactor to clean up the rest. The thought of that person makes you shiver. Oh, we got Dragos here. Suddenly the office door creaks open. Dragos stands in the doorway, staring at the equipment and notes you have assembled. What's all this? He snatches the slate from the desk, faster than you realised he could move. You run an investigation here? What am I paying you for? The drone on his shoulder starts whining shrilly, his anger passing to it through his implants. So I've got some things I can ask here. I can stay silent. I can ask, where is this ship from? Or are you hiding something? I'm going to ask, where is the ship from? Leave this alone. He starts shaking his head. I know you have a lot of questions, but this isn't the way. He turns away, muttering to himself. This is the last thing I need. So my options here, I can say this ship had a sleeper on it, or who is bringing you these ships. I'm going to say this ship had a sleeper on it. Although I myself am more intrigued about who's bringing them, I feel like I might scare him off, so I'm going to say this ship had a sleeper on it. Dragos freezes, suddenly angry. What did you say? He pushes past you to look at the terminal, at the list. He shakes his head. So what? Aren't all of you trying to escape? You're lucky it was you that made it out alive, not them. He folds his arms indignantly. Dragos seems to steady himself and then turns back to you, the heat map of the reactor failure reflected in his headset's glassy eyes. I've given you a place to stay. I've given you work. He stumbles over the words, unsure what to say. There's plenty others who would have sold you on, turned you in, but not me, no. And then I can say, I appreciate that, but, or I know, or stay silent. I think I'm going to say, I know. He softens. Look, you've helped me too. He quiets the drone. I've done well by you. You've returned the favour. He straightens up and clears his throat. But this obsession you have with this ship isn't going to work for me. I can't have you making my clients nervous. I can't have you digging up whatever it is you're after. He sighs. You can't work here anymore. I can say, I need the work. What about the Winterlight? And fine. I said, what about the Winterlight? He reaches over and switches the monitor off. Forget about the damn ship. You have enough to keep you up. Dragos reaches across you and flicks off the terminal. As the light of the monitor dies, a kind of eerie calm falls on both of you. Whatever this was, it's done. You made it out, Sleeper. That means you have to move on. And then I can say, someone killed that ship and its crew. Or what if they come for me? Someone killed that ship and its crew. What, and you want to meet them? He shakes his head. We are done here. In the dark, Dragos' headset glints, and you wish for a moment you could see his eyes and meet them. Maybe then he would understand. You get up from the desk and Dragos gathers the notes, stuffing them into a pocket of his overalls. He holds the door for you, his headset as expressionless as always. You can stay in the container. I won't take that from you. Don't come back. His tone is final, definite, with an edge of disappointment. You walk out of the office and then out of the yard, not stopping to look back. You leave the yard, thumbing the vial in your pocket, knowing that this, at least, guarantees you a little more time. And as you walk, your mind once again drifts to that person who killed the winter light, and whether or not that person will come for you. Ugh. So, fellow traveller, find a gift from someone like you hidden away. Alright, so I've completed that drive, or maybe failed it? I'm not sure exactly how that works. I think that went differently when I played it before. I've got an upgrade available, so let's have a look at that. I think I'd like to go for... I'm not too fussed about this middle one just now. Predictive reasoning. Dice actions display potential positive and negative outcomes. Thrill seeker. Chance to gain energy after any engage action. Efficient extractor. I think I want to go with this icebreaker one, because that'll maybe get me some money. Agent nodes give off double data rewards. Oh, I need 2 points for that. Right, fine. Let's go for efficient extractor. So +1 that one. Cool. So I've got a couple of options here. I can go and spend a dice, or I can talk to Feng. We've got a ship that's just arrived. I think the first thing I want to do... Oh, and from that last mission I got a stabilizer as well, which is absolutely clutch. So, first thing I want to do is order some fungus. So let's do that. Make sure my tummy stays full. And now I've completed the fungus fan action here. Let's leave. Not 100% sure what that does. Oh, okay, so we get to talk to Emphis now. That's great. Sleeper! Emphis calls out to you, a booming voice that echoes through the corridor.
Tell me a story.
He throws a handful of chopped mushrooms into his wok, the fire leaping up to meet the oil.
I see you, cycle in, cycle out, but we never speak. Tell me a story.
What kind?
Any kind.
He pauses to drizzle something from a plastic bottle into the wok.
But one of yours.
He looks up at you.
Nothing stolen.
You pause, the spices rich in your nostrils, and think about the kind of story you'd like to tell Emphis. You look at Emphis, the listener, and imagine he has heard it all before. Perhaps he would enjoy a strange story, something with some spice. I can either tell him a ghost story or tell him about my dreams. Now, my dreams are the kind of the hunter coming for me through the internet thing. I think I'm going to tell him about that. All the sleepers, you tell Emphis, had dreams. Some were simple memories left over from the emulation process that had become tangled up in their minds and would come out when they slept. It wasn't rare to hear a sleeper in the dorms scream or cry out in the night. But your dreams, those grey, skeletal after-images of systems and structures, of threads and patterns, weren't like the others. They weren't memories or nightmares, they were reflections of reality. Distorted, yes, but somehow true. You learned back then to keep quiet about them, to let them flow through your mind like water. That was until now, until you arrived in this place. Now your dreams colonize your waking life. They slip behind your eyelids with every blink, and now you understand they aren't dreams at all, but some process of interfacing, of speaking, of living in another world that flows through this one like smoke through air. You tell him that you do not know if there is a reason for your dreams. Perhaps, you reason, it is just some side effect or particular quality of the frame you inhabit. Just a reminder that the frame is the synthetic body that you live in when they talk about frames. But whatever it is, it's a gift, and you hope to make use of it. Emphis finishes cooking and squints a little at you.
Sleeper, he smiles. You're quite the storyteller.
He eyes you, and you realise that he's trying to gauge how honest you've been in your story. Emphis passes you the meal he has cooked, and you take it gratefully. As you eat, he talks, a natural exchange.
Thank you, Sleeper.
He looks around at the emptying market.
but my time is done for today, and I do not want to keep you longer. So I'll make a proposal.
He gestures to the plastic boxes of ingredients stacked behind his stall.
These are good enough for most, but someone told me a story that made me think a couple of cycles ago. They said that across the gap and the greenway, fresh mushrooms grow. Have you heard this?
I'm going to say no.
Neither had I, but I trust the one who told me.
Emphis begins packing up his things.
Can you bring me some? I cannot cross the gap, and I worry about leaving my things behind.
He smiles.
I'm sure a storyteller like you could handle the trip. I'll prepare them for you, and if you wish to tell it, be the audience for another story.
Perhaps, or agreed. No, agreed. I like Emphis. He's cool.
Good!
Booms Emphis.
Then I'll wait for you to bring them.
Emphis slides his wok away and straightens up.
I'll prepare a recipe then, Sleeper. Good luck with your foraging.
I can almost sort of hear him clinking metallically as he walks away. You turn away and walk back into the main market, the rich taste of Emphis's food still lingering in your mouth. Stories for food, you think. A trade that seems more than fair. Cool. So I've got a job that I can do for him then. So Girol fricassee. Emphis wants to make this old recipe. He'll need 3 handfuls of girol caps, fresh and firm. So I need to go to the Greenway and get some mushrooms. The Greenway, as far as I know, is through here, through the low end gate. So that's something to do a little bit later. Now I've got a 3 dice here. And I've got a ship that's come in. So let's see what I can do with this ship. So this ship is called the... I don't know what. I can't see. So my options here are to buy some scrap with 20 cryo. I do have 20 cryo. Do some work and unload containers, but it's work that I'm bad at, so maybe not. So buy some scrap. Most of what comes in from the Starwood Belt is corroded trash, but can sometimes be something valuable that can be found among the salvage. Scrap allowance. The big stuff goes to the shipyard, the valuable stuff to the markets. They'll let you buy a few crates, but not much more. I'm going to buy the scrap, see what I get. The unloading containers, I'm just not going to risk it because I've only got a low dice already. So my scrap allowance has gone up, and what did I get? A ship mine fragment. Well, that's cool. I do have a drive that is to build a ship mine, so... You've heard talk of a fabricator owned by the Ort Exchange, and with that a few fragments you could build a ship mine core. Where's the Ort Exchange? Just close this. Is this the Ort Exchange? No. I'm not really sure where the Ort Exchange is, but I'm sure it will become apparent. Oh, here's the Ort Exchange. Aha, right, cool. So I can play the exchange with this, which is pretty risky. I can sell components. The Ort Exchange is always hungry for new hardware to buy up, break down and sell off, if you're happy to supply it. Okay, let's sell them a scrap and see what we get. So I've got 12 cryo and 1 in my trusted trader clock here. That's pretty good. I guess I'll just sell another one. Cool. And I think I'll take my 24 cryo that I got and I'll go back to that ship and I'll spend it on some more scrap. Start action. Now we're getting into the actual like gameplay loop sort of thing here. And although I'm losing money on this, I'm gaining like reputation, which is kind of something I want to think about building up as far as I can tell. So let's sell the component again. So I've left with 16 cryo, but this trusted trader is now half full, and that's going to come in handy for me later. I can earn money doing something else. So that's my empty container. Right, haul materials. No. Assist a shipbuilder. You don't have connections, but you do have skills. If you can get a shipbuilder to notice them, you might be in. Alright, is this something I'm interested in doing though? Because this is a lot of... I might talk to Feng first and see if he's got jobs for me to spend this 3 dice on. Let's see what Feng's got to say for himself. Sleeper. Feng catches your attention as you approach the Havanage building. Is it Havanage or Havanage? I'm going to say Havanage. Leaning against a bay door to the side of the entrance. You approach. Easier to come this way, security and all that. He gives you a look. You know. He slams a button and the bay creaks open, blinking lights in the dark behind it. You follow Feng inside. Truth be told, I don't spend much time upstairs. This is where I work. The door hisses as it closes behind you. The bay is filled with pieces of hardware, all rigged up to generators and diagnostic slates and things you don't recognise that glow with blue screen light. There is a chorus of hums that blend into a single wave of static, filling the dark corners of the room. Feng leans on a server stack and gestures around you. You like it? So I've got 3 options here. I could say, what is all this? It's incredible, or it's a mess. I think I'm going to go with it's incredible. He smiles widely. I thought you'd say that. He taps a nearby server stack, which bleeps in response. This is my treasure trove, all dredged up from the sea of systems we call the Eye. You wouldn't believe what this place runs on. He steps over to a towering block, speckled with vents. Some of these systems are from the original station, AE1, the one Solheim built. We've had to invent new components, repair things we never built, reverse engineer entire subsystems into existence. Residents here took up at the Eye. Oh, I correct myself there, sorry. Residents here look up at the Eye and think they are seeing a concrete reality. But this place is a system in constant flux, decaying and growing, collapsing into new configurations. He walks down between the hardware stacks and you follow. We're keeping this place alive, but also remaking it into something new, dragging it away from those corporate origins. He stops. At least, that's what I'm trying to do. He turns back to face you among the flickering machines, humming all around you. I know you can see this too, Sleeper. All these systems and sections. You can, can't you? I think he's referring to us going into the cloud. What I kept referring to is the internet before, that kind of like white space, digital space. So I'm going to tell him that I can see it. I'm inclined to trust Feng. I'm not sure why. It makes sense, right? You're between here and there, between the people and their systems. You light this place up like a beacon. That's what I need. You glance at the lights around you, and as you do they seem to flicker, to realign, to follow your gaze. Feng notices it too. I'm guessing being in a beacon isn't always ideal when you're on the run, though. I can say they are tracking me, or no, it isn't. I'm going to go with no, it isn't. I don't see any benefit to letting him know I think I'm being tracked. He pats you on the shoulder. Maybe I can help with that. There's a lot of old growth in this place. Subsystems I can't see, access protocols lost to time and decay, secrets. A shitload of secrets. With your help, I can unlock this place. Break off those last ghost limbs of corporate control. He lowers his voice below the hum. Even in Havanage, there's old growth. Those whose roots trace back to those bad old days. You help me dredge up the past, and I'll see what I can do about that tracker of yours. He winks. What do you say, Sleeper? So I can say, I'm in. Or I'll think about it. Ah, you son of a bitch, I'm in. Feng pumps his fist and claps you on the shoulder. He meets your eye. You won't regret it, Sleeper. Feng passes you a ragged-looking metal tab. A gift, he smiles. It's a Solheim cipher. I dug it up from the depths of the station. Slot that into an old network gate and you'll be able to pull out all kinds of secrets from the nodes inside. He walks you back to the front of the bay. Start by bringing me whatever you can turn up. Use that emulated mind of yours and see what's out there. Let's get a picture of how things are. Those above, he nods at the ceiling, have granted me an acquisitions budget. I can pay you for whatever useful data you bring in. I know you need it. He's right, we do need it. He slams the door button again. Keep it quiet, keep it clean, Sleeper, and I'll see you soon. You step, blinking, back out into the passage, those flickering lights still in the back of your mind. Cool. So talking to Feng has given me a new drive. Let's just check what that is. Disable your tracker. Feng has said he will disable your S and ARP tracker if he can get to the bottom of this mystery, of his mystery first. Okay. And then I've got another one here as well. Extract the past. Feng wants to dig into old Solheim networks in search of secrets that could change the future of the station. Interesting. I think I will track the extract the past drive. And then let's have a look and see what Feng has got here. So we've got deliver data. Feng will pay you well for any Solheim data you dredge up from the Eye's old systems. What he does with it is anyone's guess. So I've got to go into the cloud and get this symbol here, this Solheim stuff. As far as I'm aware, I didn't see any. Let's just have a little look. What will that get me? It doesn't tell me what it'll get me. Right, so I can actually do that one. That's cool. Solheim. Slot Solheim cipher. This gate conceals a network of systems which have been untouched since the Solheim collapse. So let's spend this cipher and we can unlock some of this stuff. Alright, cool. So I lost my cipher now, but I should have unlocked some more nodes maybe? Oh yeah, a whole bunch. Alright, so that one I need a 2 or a 4. This one I need a 2 or a 3. Okay, let's do this one. I kind of like Feng, so I kind of want to give him... I want to help him out, you know. So we have some Solheim data. Now if we go back to Feng... There he is. And give him the data... Oh wait, oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, Solheim data in there. Start action. Alright, so we've got some money. Got some cryo from that, which is super useful. Scoping the systems. So we need to give him 3 more of those to continue that on that drive. Now I've got some money, so can I buy some scrap? Yeah, I'm going to buy some more scrap. And this will be my total scrap allowance used up for this ship. Okay, you hand over your chits and they point you to a crate of salvage. Time to see what you just bought. Feeling lucky? So the scrap allowance is used up. I don't think I can buy any more. But I can take that scrap and I can use it at the auto exchange to boost my reputation, which should then allow me to build a ship mind if I get the parts. Kind of think that's how that works. So let's sell the scrap. We've got 12 cryo back, 1 more trusted trader. I'm going to go back to that ship and just see if I've misunderstood that. If I can get more. Yeah, see, it's crossed out, so it's not going to let me buy any more. I'd only be able to get more maybe if I use dice, but I don't really want to do this endure thing. But I do want to get it gone. Interesting. Okay, we'll come back to that later. It looks like I've done everything I can do. I don't have enough money to spend on anything else. I have got a stabilizer, which is pretty useful. So we will end the cycle, I guess. So I'm being hunted still. Ooh, slightly worrying. If I close these, so I can actually, when I go to bed, I can put the stabilizer in and use it, but I'll probably use it when I get down to like 3. I think I remember liking to have 2 of those banked, so maybe I'll do it when I get a second one. End cycle. Okay, so I've got 5 dice. Nothing's shouting at me here, so that's pretty good. So I think that's a really good place to wrap it up. I've got a few new drives. Let's just review those. So build a ship mind, disable my tracker, which is kind of basically helping Feng, extract the past, which is also helping Feng, get to know Emphis, which is to go off into another area, get some mushrooms, and then just survive. So I need to go. Oh, this one is buying a bottle of stabilizer. So the next, a vial of stabilizer. So this just requires me to get money. Before I log off, we'll just go and check how much that costs. 100. Right, yeah, okay. So I'm not doing that anytime soon. I'll keep this drive tracked for now, extract the past. And in the next episode, we'll come back and we'll start spending some of these dice and see how we get on. So thank you so much for watching. If you're enjoying this video, please consider leaving me a like. It really helps the channel out. It makes me feel good. If you have any comments to make at all, please make them. I love discussing the games I cover with everyone, and I'm really enjoying this one because it's a real change of pace, actually, just doing a lot of narration. We have a Discord community called Puck HQ, which is styled around a space station. You'll find the link to that Discord in the description of this video. So pop over and say hi if you want to. With that said, wherever you are in the world, have a lovely morning or afternoon or evening, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye for now.